Hi everyone, it's Karen Hooley, and welcome to this week's version of Team Whooleygan's live chat. I'm really excited you're here today, and I can already see that there's a few people chatting away in the comment section. But before I get over to the comment section, I just wanted to, if you're watching for the first time or you're watching the replay later, I just want to make sure that you all know that you can learn more about me at my website at KarenHooley.com. You can see that down here at the bottom of the screen. Everything there is to know about who I am and what I do and what I sell and everything else is there on my website. So make sure you check it out. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. You can either go to my website and there's a subscribe box on the front page, or you can use this link right here at the bottom of the page of the screen here and subscribe to my newsletter. If you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, you might want to do that because I have a new pattern coming out. I have a new pattern coming out in May, but I also have some other information and a new book coming out this month. So, and subscribers always get the news first. So make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. And if with new releases, I always give my subscribers 25% off. So it's a good time to subscribe to my newsletter. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at Karen Hooley with no spaces between my name. So you can follow me there. I've been trying to do at least one daily pre-scheduled post, and then I check in a couple times a day. I also will probably starting in May do a little bit more off-the-cuff posts as well. So make sure you check out Instagram. And then also, if you are watching this after the fact, you might be watching it on Rumble. And so if you're watching on Rumble, make sure you hit the subscribe button above the video. If you're not watching on Rumble, and you're interested in Rumble, this is my channel. I'm going to actually be working on my Rumble account this coming month, or actually this month of April. It's already April. I'm going to kind of move my channel around a little bit, and I'm going to create some like a how-to channel and a hack channel and stuff like that. So, and then the lives will be on their own channel, that kind of thing. So you can actually move around and find things a little bit easier on Rumble. But if you're there, make sure you check it out there if you're not on Rumble. And if you're interested in finding out more about Rumble or subscribing, I do have an affiliate link, and that's also at the bottom of the screen here. So if you're interested in that, definitely try that out. And if you're here on YouTube watching me live or after the fact, make sure you hit that subscribe button below the video. And that way you'll know every time I go live. You'll be able to know whenever I upload a video, and like a how-to video or something like that. So make sure you do that as well. So I'm going to head over to the chat room. You guys are chatty today. There's 11 comments waiting for me over there. Cool. Okay, so we've got Linda and Brat here. This is awesome, and I'm glad you hit the like button. Thank you. And there's Aunt Ida. Hi, Aunt Ida. I'm so glad you guys are here. And Aunt Ida, you guys are chatting. Yay, Busy Hooker's here too. Good morning. And there's Pat. Good morning, Pat. I hope you're doing well with your recovery. Let us know how you're doing. Who else is here? Busy Hooker. It's so nice. Yeah, Aunt Ida says it's nice to see familiar faces. And that's the thing about doing these lives. It really makes me happy to see you guys, those of you who are able to come every week, or maybe not every week, but most weeks, that kind of thing. You guys make my week. So thank you so much for being here, all of you. So I'm so glad you guys are all here. I like this too. I always like the little faces people put. Thank you, Busy Hooker. I hope all you guys are doing well this week and if you celebrate, had a great Easter. We did. My brother-in-law and my mother-in-law drove up from California and stayed with us. They got here Saturday afternoon, and we just transferred them from our house to my sister-in-law's house yesterday evening. So I So this is my first day at home alone with just my family again. So I didn't get to do a lot of planning for today's live, but I've quite a few things to show you guys. I'm just going to check here really quick just to see how you're doing. Oh, good, Patricia. You're recovering at your daughter's house. That's great. So you're doing good. That's awesome. I was thinking about you earlier or right before Easter. So I'm glad you're with your daughter and you're recovering well. That's awesome. And Busy Hook, trying harder. Yeah, is that trying harder to be here on Wednesday mornings? I'm trying. One of the things I'm trying to do, and I don't know if you guys noticed this on my YouTube channel, but I have all of April's lives pre-scheduled now in YouTube. So if you want to be notified of when I go live on those pre-scheduled ones, you can go in there and just hit, let me know when she goes live or whatever. I mean, if you're subscribed, you'll probably get it anyway. But now you can get yourself notified right away, So I'm going to try to do that, like maybe later this week or next week, I'll get May's all pre-scheduled so that I have a few out there so that you guys know when I'm going to be going live. And hopefully I'll start posting if there's going to be a topic or not that week. So you'll know about that too. The last couple of weeks, I'm trying to make more of an effort. Yes. Okay, cool. You are getting work gets in the way. I understand that too. I understand that too. I get notifications for some of the people I follow, and I don't ever get to see them live, it seems like lately. So I do the replays later on as well. So I'm so glad you guys are all here though. So I want to start off with some finished products. Oh, Linda, then you're going to like my first finished product with you since she got her Rush Hour yarn. Isn't it gorgeous? It's gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. So Rush Hour. This is finally finished. That's off the blocking board. Here we go. This is Rush Hour yarn from Sock Obsession Yarns. This is the finished shawl. I just took it off the blocking board. It still doesn't show really well on my screen. I have way too much light on it. It's kind of those oranges and pinks and grays that you see in a sunset. So this shawl is actually named Sunset. So it just came off the blocking board. It'll probably be going to photography soon. I just finished taking the pictures that I usually take for my tech editor. So this will be going to tech editing right after this video. You'll be seeing this soon. So I wanted to make sure you guys got to see that off the blocking board. So there's that one. I love that yarn. And I didn't, I'm going to put it in the comments. It's sockobsessionyarns.com. So if you're sockobsessionyarns.com. Oh, I spelled obsessions wrong. It's sockobsessionyarns.com. Oh, my fingers. Okay. So scratch the first one. It's this one. So there you go. So if you're interested in her yarns, I definitely want you to check those out. I didn't do a banner for her. I wasn't thinking about it. And this next one, I showed you this yesterday or last week unblocked. And now it's blocked. I literally blocked it right after our live last week. This is that bamboo yarn. Look at how different it looks now. You kind of still see the tonals in there. But this is for, this is Bellatrista Yarns, which I removed the banner for it, and I shouldn't have. But this is Bellatrista Yarns soy yarn. It's a sport weight, and it's not, well, I guess you could wear it as a shawl. It's a little short for me. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so this is my shawl. I would probably wear it more as a scarf, but it's for my class on Delta Lace Crochet for Crochet Texas. So if anybody's watching this either live or after the fact that lives in Texas and does not know anything about Crochet Texas, it's a crochet guild in the Dallas area. So, but I think they have members from all over the state. So if you're interested in that class, and you are live in the area, if you join the guild, you'll have access to that class. I will be offering that class at another time. So that's open to the world. So this will be the first time I'm teaching it live on Zoom. So I always like to do little mini classes like that for a smaller group and then open it up to the world. So that's a brand new class. Well, it's not a brand new class. I've been teaching it live for years and years and years. But it's a new shortened class with a new sample. So there you go. Yes, it's more like a shawlette. And you love purples too. Yes, this color is amazing. Actually, it's funny because the colorway is purple tonals. That's what they call it. The dyer calls it. So it's gorgeous. Though. I mean, it's just beautiful, but it's Bella Trista yarn, I think. Bella Trista yarns. If you just, oops, I can't spell today, you guys. It's really funny. If you Google Bella Trista yarn, there it is, Bella Trista yarn, you'll find it. They're here actually a local to me dyer. They used to be local to me when I lived on the west side. And then a couple of years ago, they moved over here. And then now I'm over here, so they're still local to me. So, but that's the yarn. They're soy yarn, 100% soy fiber. And remember last week I talked about soy fiber and that you cannot soak soy fiber. So what I did was I pinned this all out, stretched it how I wanted it to be, and I got a spray bottle of water and just sprayed it until it was damp. And doing it that way will prevent the fibers from tearing and melting away and stuff like that. If you soak it and then pin it out and stretch it, you can break the fiber. So for those of you who weren't here last week, there's a little tip for you that you missed last week. So now, guys, I don't know how many of you remember last week I showed you a skein of yarn that was it was white with a lot of different speckles, multicolored speckles, called Lights from Serial Knitters. Since this is their website, I just put it down at the bottom. Well, I wound it up and I actually crocheted with it. Hang on one second. And I told you guys too that she isn't dyeing this color anymore, so I was using it as a test sample. Well, I actually got the new yarn from her. She sent me 2 skeins just in case the pattern needed to be, I needed more yarn that, it used more than one yarn. So this is the yarn I'm going to use for the actual pattern. It's called Serial Knitters Underground Dye House Sock Yarn. It's their Cherry Creek sock, and the colorway is called Flower Girl. And it's very, very similar in the color, except the base of it is, instead of being almost true white, this is more cream. But the speckles are very much the same. I don't know if you can see the pinks and the blues. It's really cool. So this is the skein I did. So here's the one I did with Lights. It's a cowl. I just finished it. Finished it Monday. Turn around. I finished it Monday afternoon. It needs to be blocked, but this is way Lights crocheted up, and there's going to be more to this cowl. I still have a little bit of yarn here, so there's going to be more. This is just the main part of the cowl, so I need to block it first and seam it as a cowl, and then I'm going to do the rest of the cowl. So there is that. But then I also finished just yesterday the Flower Girl center, so I'm going to block them both at the same time. And here's what Flower Girl looks like crocheted up. And I did post a little sample of this one on Instagram. So you may have seen this. Oops, I've got the back side showing. It's the front. So that is done as far as, and I still have that much Flower Girl left too. So I'll be able to do the edgings around the cowl. But so there's my work in progresses right now. So really excited about that. So if you haven't checked out Serial Knitters, she's also used to be a local to me. She's over on the west side of Washington. Serial Knitters used to be a yarn shop that was really close to me that I had done work for. And now that I'm over here, she's still working with me a little bit. So the shop has since closed because of COVID, but she has rebranded herself as an online dyer. So check her out. She's got some great colorways. Oh my gosh, she's got some great colorways. So there you go. So I see some comments coming in. So I'm going to switch over there really fast. Oh, hi, Anna Louise. I didn't see you pop in. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I see some. Okay, so we've got Serial Knitters. Now, some of you guys who follow me on Instagram, I'm going to show you some new yarn that just came into the shop. The first one is from Knitting Fever, and I don't know if you guys know Knitting Fever as a name, but Knitting Fever has their own line of yarns, but they also are the distributor of other yarn companies. And one of the yarn companies they distribute is Araucana. And Araucana, this is their Huasco sock. And I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to put all three of them up. They sent me this for another new project I'm going to be working on. This is called Huasco sock in the colorway Rosa Dorada. So this is a sock weight yarn again. I know a lot of you like to use a little bit heavier yarns, but this one is, this is actually going to be a pattern for a child. So, and I don't like putting really, really bulky yarns on little kids. They look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I don't know if you guys know that. I know that and have heard me say that before, but I just, with the kids using a worsted weight yarn, sometimes they just look like they're, so I like to use the finer yarns. I'll use a DK maybe, depending on what the item is and what the gauge is. But I usually go with fingering, maybe sport with children. But this is the sock yarn. So isn't that gorgeous? I just love this color. So you'll be seeing me work on that soon. And then along with that, I wanted to show you guys this. They sent me the newest Noro catalog or magazine, and they call it a knitting magazine, but I wanted to show you this because they have crochet in it. Yes, the Michelin Man. Yes. All right, let's see here. Busy Hooker says she loves that. Yeah, I do too. I didn't. When the first speckled yarn started to come out and I would crochet with them, because of the way the crochet stitches are, a lot of those speckles would hide. But I think the dyers have learned to do speckling a little bit differently. And so now you get to see that speckle coming through like you saw with the cowls. The speckling has come through. And the funny thing is before I show you the Noro, this is the original skein of lights that she no longer dyes. Do you see how in the middle there's a big, almost white empty area, like right through this area right here. And then you start speckling again. So and then when you go to the Flower Girl, I have the speckles pretty uniformly through the entire cowl. So I'm actually grateful to her that she told me she was no longer dyeing this and was willing to send me a different yarn. It's because now my sample will show all the speckles. So I'm really excited. So I'm very, very excited about that. Okay. Interesting. Never actually crocheted with it. I have some. I just like looking at it. Yes. Well, a lot of my speckled yarn, I did do that for a while. Even the lights there, I did that for a while. So, Yeah, but when I did crochet with it, it just didn't, it would hide the stitches because of the way crochet stitches are, or not the stitches, would hide the speckles. But now it seems like most of the dyers now who do the speckled yarns have changed their process a little bit, and it's more crochet friendly. So, but anyway, I want to show you guys this Noro. I don't know if any of you have gotten this. If you've gotten this, let me know that you've seen it already. But they had some crochet. Now this section was kind of disappointing to me because Noro is known for when they do crochet patterns, they do granny squares. So they have two basically granny square, modified granny square afghans or blankets that are in here. They're beautiful. I'm not saying they're not beautiful, but you know, there's more to crochet than the granny squares, even on a blanket. You know, so that always disappoints me when I get the Noro magazines. But this was exciting to me. They had more crochet in this issue than I've ever seen. Take the little sticky out. They have a crocheted wraps and ponchos, as well as a top that are in this magazine. So first I'll show you that first wrap. Isn't that pretty? It's really gorgeous. And then there's a top right there. And there's the wrap. I don't know if you can see it right there. That is really pretty. You can see that part of it. But then here's another wrap. That's kind of got some color work. It's like a filet crochet with some color work in there with the gray. And then there's another top that's really cute. Looks like a cross stitch. I haven't looked at the pattern, but it looks like they used a cross stitch. But then there's another photo of this one's a knit. Yeah, but there was another photo of that first shawl. I gotta find it. I wanted to show you guys because the back is so interesting. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was at the beginning of the book, and I should have marked it and didn't. Of course, here we go. Here's the back of that first shawl. That's crocheted. Isn't that gorgeous? It's all double crochets. It's just working in different angles and things like that. So you haven't picked up this magazine, you might want to, just because it's really cool. Really, really cool magazine. I don't know if they have pricing on here. I guess if you buy it in a Joann's or wherever else they are, I can't talk this morning, guys. A yarn shop. It'll be about $10. It's $9.99 on the cover price, but I don't know. Some yarn shops discount them and things like that. So, but this is a really good issue because it's got a lot of crochet. Usually they'll have the one nominal crochet issue. So yeah. Okay, so that's it for Knitting Fever. And then I got another box that came in on actually the same day. On Monday, I went to my P.O. box because I have a P.O. box for my business, and that's where I have all my yarn shipped. And I had the Nora, or not the Nora, the Nora magazine and the Araucana sock was in there. Then I had another box that I work with. One of my favorite dyers is the Fiber Seed. I don't know if you guys know the Fiber Seed, but she's one of my favorite dyers too. She's a hand dyer she used to be in Florida, now she's in Ohio. And she was having a sale. And this is colorway. This is her Sprout sock yarn. And she was having a sale on the color she's no longer, I don't think she's dyeing. She's clear. This was her clearance color. But about 2 or 3 years ago, I bought a skein of this. This is ranunculus. And I bought a skein of this for my son because he was in the shop with me and he saw this color. And he said, Mom, I want a hat. And so we got the hat. Now he wants fingerless mitts. And I've been saying, okay, I got to wait, till I wait a few months before I do it. But then she put it on clearance, so which usually means they are not going to be dyeing that colorway anymore. So as soon as I saw it on clearance, I said, I have to buy it now, and I'll probably make him his mitts for his birthday in September. So this is Ranunculus. He loves bright orange, but then again, it's got the speckles in there. So this is a really cool colorway. I really hope she doesn't get rid of it completely, that maybe she'll dye it when people ask for it or something, because it was a pretty popular colorway, at least here in Washington. I know when I bought the one he wanted for the hat at my local yarn shop, it was the last skein on her rack. And I know she said she was ordering more, and I think she did, if I remember correctly. And it just is one of those colorways that sells really fast. But the other thing she sent me is I'm going to be doing a project with her. And last month, her color of the month was called Succulent. This is Succulent. Isn't that gorgeous? She still has some of this in her shop. Usually she'll dye it as the color of the month, and then she'll sell it out. And then sometimes it gets put into her catalog of colors, and other times it doesn't. But this one is definitely, I'm sure she's probably going to keep it in her catalog, because I'm doing a sweater. I have 4 skeins of the sock yarn in Succulent. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I love this colorway. I'll be doing a garment sweater. So I don't know if Samantha's here or not. I know a couple weeks ago she was here and asked me about a sweater, a simple sweater, and this is my simple sweater that I was talking about. So this one I'm actually probably going to wind up, because now I'm at a point where I have to block the cowls. I'll probably wind this and get started at least on the back of the sweater. So isn't this gorgeous? I just love this. And this one has some speckles to it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's some speckles in there. Right here, there's some right in there. Can you see the speckles? When I wind it, I'll take a picture of it, and then you'll probably see next week the first part of the sweater. So when I'm knitting a garment, this is a good question. Hi, Marianne, I didn't see you pop in. Glad you're here. Do you alternate skein? When I'm knitting, for sure, I do with hand-dyed yarns. With crochet, I don't always. And I probably won't with this one. And the reason I don't is because crochet is so much bulkier that if I'm doing like 2 rows of one skein and 2 rows of another, and if I've got a limited quantity and I don't know that I'm going to be able to get the hand dyer to dye exactly quite the same as she did the last time, if you're carrying up the sides with crochet, you have yarn that's too long. For example, if I'm using double crochet, if I have, an inch of yarn going up and it's, 40 rows, that's 40 inches of yarn that I'm losing. So I don't. What I usually try to do is, like in this case, she dyed them all in the same bath. So you look at them, they're pretty much the same. Maybe the speckling is a little different, but they are so dead on that even if there's a slight variation, I know that my photographer can color correct that, but then usually I will put a slight variation, like somewhere where you can't see it, like in a sleeve or something like that. So if I'm changing colors, yeah, I'll alternate skeins, with changing colors. But if it's something that I'm going to have to carry up all the way, I don't, because unless it's single crochet. If it's solid single crochet, yes, I will alternate skeins every time. I might even do 3 skeins so that I'm always, how do I even explain it? So that I do color A or skein B, skein C, skein A. See how it's called the ABC, a way of changing skein colors. Sometimes you'll see it when you have a 3-color blanket or something like that. So But with garments, I try not to unless there are some really obvious dye issues. And I only do that with hand dyes. Usually if I'm using box store yarns like Red Heart or Lion Brand, I don't have to worry about it as long as the dye lots are the same. And when a dyer like this will dye them all at the same time for me, which is a lot of times is what happens, is they dye them at the same time. So even with this one, which is a more commercially dyed, I don't believe these, oh, these are hand painted. Never mind, these are hand painted, but they're the same dye lot. And so they're going to be pretty close. So hopefully that explains that for you, Marianne. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that helped. So you're going to see a little bit of the fiber seed coming out of me these next few weeks. So, and I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to wind up that succulent today. I'm going to put these over here so they're out of my way for a little bit. Okay. Well, then I have one more yarn to show you. Oh, and did I put up the banner for Fiber Seed? I did. Here, that's Fiber Seed's website. So if you're interested in any of her yarns, this is the Ranunculus. Definitely check her out. She's one of my favorite dyers. I like all the dyers I work with, but there's certain dyers that you get to be friends with and you've known them for a lot of years. You've used their yarns a lot, and Fiber Seed is one of those. So I really love her colors. I used her yarns in my book, A Garden of Shawls. And I used her yarns in my book. Did I use them? Yeah, I did use them in Coastal Crochet. I had to think about that for a second. So you can see some other patterns that I've done with her yarns there. So Fiber Seed is another one. And then this is a new to me dyer. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how long she's been dyeing, but I've been following her for a few months on Instagram, and I just fell in love with this colorway. So this is Hot Knit yarn. And I don't know if you guys can see this as well as it really should. I'm going to put it as close as I can. That looks blue. It's actually mint green. It's called Cool Mint Pop. I don't know how else to make it look green. There's too much light in here. But it's, if you follow me on Instagram, you can see it on Instagram, the true colors. But this is another new to me dyer, speckles, of course, along with that mint and the white. It's, well, creamy white, I guess. This is her Jimmy sock, which is also a fingering weight, and you guys know I love fingering weight. So this I already know is going to be a shawl. I have the idea in my head. I just have to swatch it. I've got it all written down so that when I get to this yarn, I will be able to hopefully just go with it. So this is another one. She's got some beautiful yarns. So check her website out. She's one of those people that's kind of like I showed you Sewella last week. She does a lot of collections, and this is her spring collection. So it's going to be limited edition. She's been re-dyeing it. In fact, I got these off of her second dye because I missed them the first time. They sold out so fast. So, but this is just gorgeous. So if you're interested in any of her spring colors, now's the time to go look because she's restocking them as needed. She has a beautiful, similar dye style, but instead of the mint green, it's a beautiful silvery gray. I can't even explain how beautiful it is. So if you're interested in that, that'd be great. And then I have to save her bag because her bag, cover up my address here, but the llamas, look at those llamas. Aren't they cute? So cute, her bag that she shipped them in. So I had to save that to show you guys. So Hot Knit yarn is going to be another one that you'll be seeing on my hook soon. And then I have a couple other projects that I'm going to be working on that I'm waiting for the yarn. I should be getting some of the yarn next week, but I can't show you until it's released. So I may not have new yarns to show you unless I, go to the store or something and pick up something that just grabbed me. But you'll be seeing some projects coming out of me, that's for sure. So let me see, I got some comments over here. Just signed up for her newsletter. Yeah. And if you see a yarn company, one of the things I always recommend too is you don't have to stay on it for very long, but if I recommend a yarn company, you like what you see, sign up for their newsletter for a little bit just to see what they do. And if their dye process is not what you like, or they don't offer yarns that you'd be willing to work with, or, they may not be in your budget or whatever it is, you can unsubscribe. But I always recommend at least subscribe for a few weeks just to see what it is they do. And like I know with Hot Knit Yarn, I think it's every Thursday she does her releases. She updates her cart, her shopping, or her store with all the yarns that she's dyed. And she is out of Brunswick, Maine. So if you're on the East Coast, I'm sure you'll get yarns faster than I do. So, so that's all that has come in on this week. I'm trying to think if there's anything new I can tell you guys about. My brain is still kind of on vacation mode because my mother-in-law was here and my brother-in-law, so I'm still kind of in that. And my mother-in-law is a knitter, so we would sit on the couch and be talking, and I'd be crocheting and she'd be knitting. So it was kind of nice to have somebody in the house that does what I do. Maybe a different I knit too, but trying to think if there's anything else to chat about. You will start seeing my new book on Amazon and some of the online retailers for pre-sale. It's called Simply Blankets. That just went up on Amazon. They just told me it went live this morning. So it is up for pre-sale there. I'll be putting it up on my website shortly, and I'm trying to decide. It's an ebook only. You can't get it in print because there's too few pages and I can't get it printed. I even tried with people who print my my patterns, and they told me that for the way it's laid out, I can't get it in print. There's just too few pages for what it is. So it's ebook only. You'll be able to get it on like Amazon and Apple Books, Kobo. I'm going to put it on Hoopla, which is one of the library programs, that kind of thing. But you'll also be able to get it from me directly. So if you're interested in that, I'll be sending out information. Let me look at my calendar. The release date is April 27th. I'll probably start pre-sales on my website the week before. So when you get my newsletter on the 16th, I'll have information about how to pre-order the book. So, so if you're interested in that, let me know. And you'll be getting more information about that soon. But if you want to check it out right now, I know for sure it's live on Amazon, and just search for Simply Blankets or Karen Whooley, and you'll be able to see the book, the ebook cover and stuff like that. I have it buried, I think, over there in one of my piles. So otherwise I'd show it to you. So that's coming. Let's see. I got some, oh, you like that bag, this guy, right? Is this what you were talking about? It's so cute. Some of these yarn dyers, they have the cutest little shipping bags. So Fiber Seed has it, and also who was the other one that had a cute bag? Serial Knitters had their logo on their bag. But Fiber Seed, this time I got it in a big box because I had a lot of skeins. So she has the tape around the box that has all her logo and information. Is really cute too. So yes, but yeah, that's the other thing about the hand dyers, the independent dyers. Their packaging is so cute. I love it. See, Marianne says she received. Oh, good. Yay, Marianne. I'm so glad. And make sure you check out the video that I have in there. It's the V knit stitch, you'll see in the instructions of how to do that stitch, you'll see that I have a link there for the video. So make sure you check that out too. I'm glad you got the pattern. I've been thinking about, the patterns that I ship to people. So I'm hoping you guys are getting started. So that's awesome. Okay, so that is it for me this week. Unless you guys have something you want to share with me or have a question about, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Last week I told you guys about my blog, and I showed you the website. Oh, and one of the things I was thinking about this week since my last chat with you guys is that I might start another blog that, and I'll announce it in my newsletter, that you can subscribe to it. But I might do the business of crochet for those of you who are interested in being pattern testers, or if you want to be a designer, or if you want to know what I go through when I release the pattern from start to finish, the costs involved, the time involved, books, and then I'm hoping with that blog, that part of the blog, that I'll get a lot of people asking me questions to answer. So if you're interested in that, that'll be happening too. I probably won't start till May, but I just thought I'd let you guys know that was coming too. Let's see. Linda says, I love all the yarn from the places you recommended in the past. I've never been disappointed. I don't recommend yarns unless there's something I like. I mean, if I got a yarn into my studio that I ordered and it wasn't a good yarn, it looked good on the website or it looked good in their Instagram, but then when I got it, it wasn't good yarn, I would never recommend it here live or in my newsletter or anywhere. So I don't want you to be disappointed. I don't recommend anything I haven't tried or used. So there you go. That's why I'm hoping that you guys like what I like, but I always look for good quality yarns, whether it's an indie dyer or if it's even a commercially made yarn. So they're okay. So Busy Hooker says, there was a lady with a yarn shop up in the mountain town near me that I visit often. She spun, dyed, and sold all her yarn. Oh no, sometimes those are the best, are when they spin and dye and sell their yarns. Those who spin their own yarns know what quality yarn is, and so they're really good. But oh, bummer that she retired. That would bum me out. But there's been a few dyers out there now that are dyeing their own braids and spinning them and selling them. So, even on Instagram, you follow the tag handspun, I think, handspun yarn, something like that. One of those two. And you'll see people who are spinning their own yarn to keep. I know one of my followers who's here from time to time, Juanita, is a spinner, and she buys braids and she spins them, but those are for her own use. But then there's other people who are dyers and spinners that sell their yarn because all they want to do is spin. They don't want to necessarily use the yarn. So make sure you check that out on Instagram, because that would be the place to find somebody, and maybe you'll find somebody local, but that's a bummer. Okay. Aunt Ida just finished casting off a pair of socks. Now I need to do the afterthought heels. Yep. See, I've only done one pair of socks with an afterthought heel. For me, I have to knit the whole thing. I do the heel flap and gusset. First of all, because that fits my family better. And then I just want to be done when I take it off the needles. I want it to be done, other than maybe Kitchenering the toe if I'm doing a cuff down sock. But that's great. But knitting socks, that takes time, doesn't it? It's a lot of time with those tiny needles and the fingering away yarn. And it's great crafting with me. It's great crafting with me. I'm so glad that you feel that way. And you're a spinner too. In fact, I forgot to put it on my desk. I don't know how many of you follow spinning at all, but there's a company out there called Electric Eel Wheel. or actually his company is Dreaming Robots, but he creates spinning wheels. And I just got his Kickstarter for, I backed his Kickstarter for the production wheel he just did. It's plastic injected molded spinning wheel that's electric. So because a few years ago I tore some ligaments in my foot, and ever since I had the surgery, I have a hard time with the treadle. So I've been using the electric, and I have his real old model, which I love, but I just got his new one, and I just spun with it a little bit on Friday, and I haven't picked it up since because of family being here. So and I was going to show you guys, and I forgot to put it on my desk. So next week you'll see my new electric eel wheel. So it's a really cool wheel. It's really, really cool. Let's see. Busy hooker. Always want to learn how to do all for that from start to finish. You know, I don't have room for animals, and they don't allow me to have animals, but I do want to buy a fleece someday and do it from beginning to end, from cleaning the fleece to spinning it, to dyeing it, and then make a sweater is what my goal would be for myself. I really, really want to do that too. So maybe you and I can make a pact that we're going to do this someday. So, yeah, you got to try it out. Got to try it out. And afterthought heels are actually, I find afterthought heels funner in crochet than I do in knitting. That's the other reason why I don't do them when I'm knitting socks. But yeah, you got to try it out. You're working on Pache, Linda. Okay, great. I can't wait to see that finished. You showed me part of it, I think. I can't remember if you sent me a picture or not, but yeah, no, I'm so excited. Spinning is fun. It's not something that I would feel comfortable teaching. I learned from a gal who worked at my local yarn shop with me when I was working at the local yarn shop. She let me borrow her treadle wheel, and she taught me the basics of drafting and using a wheel. And then I just kind of went off on my own and started going to either YouTube, or she's still over there. There's a local spinner over on the west side of Washington who's written a ton of books for interweave. And so I've learned some stuff from her. And but so for me with spinning, it's more of something I do for myself, and just it's relaxing. It's very, when you're stressed and you just sit there and you're drafting yarn and letting it twist, and it's just very soothing. So I do it for myself, and I don't get to do it nearly as often as I'd like. And one of my goals is, after my daughter gets married in September, is to set a day aside a week that is just for spinning. So that's something I have to look forward to. So, yeah, spinning is fun. Let's see, you're working. Oh, so for Pache, you're working with the sparkly black acrylic yarn. That's right. You told me that. That's right. I'm dying to see that. That'll be really cool to see. Really, really cool. Yes, they definitely send me a photo when you do some rows. I love to see, for all of you, any of you who are working on my patterns. I know Mary Ann just said that she's got to wind the yarn to start this hat. When you're done or in process, I love to see those pictures. And if you're willing to let me share them on social media, let me know, so that, because a lot of times I love to share what you guys are doing. Just because, I like a lot of times crocheters are not willing to share their work. They feel like, I'm not that good. Even if they've been crocheting for 40 years, they feel like they're still a beginner, or they don't weave in their ends correctly, or they don't block things. That doesn't matter. I mean, you are doing something that you love, and you're making something. And, even my husband, when we were first married, and we lived an hour and a half away from my in-laws at the time. And we would get in the car, and, my cousins and all my nieces and nephews were starting to have babies. And I would start a booty in the car crocheting. And by the time we got to his parents' house, I'd have a single booty made. And then on the way home, I'd have the other booty made. So, and he would say, I can't believe you're taking that string and you're making something. it doesn't matter if you feel like it needs to be blocked before you share it with the world, or if you feel like you don't weave in your ends correctly. You need to share what you do. The world needs to see, and that's how we keep crochet going. So please share with me pictures. I can't even begin to tell you how important that is to me, to see what you guys do with my patterns. And if you tweak something and make it different, I like to see that, because I like to see where your mind works with crochet, because that actually helps inspire me to create more patterns that you guys will like. So there's kind of a two reasons why I do that, is because I want the world to see what crochet can be, and I want the world to see, I want to be able to design patterns that you guys are enjoying and would like to work with. So that's awesome. Okay, Linda says, I am making it for my friend who was so kind. Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right. You told me you were making it for that friend. That's so awesome. And that's the other reason I like to crochet too, is that it's a special gift for someone. Honestly, it can be a special gift. Like when I make my nieces and nephews blankets and hats for their expectant babies, I'm always thinking about them, and so it becomes something extra special. And I'm sure a lot of you do that too. So I think that's important. Let's see. I didn't do much crocheting or knitting during that time until you're bewitched. Crochet along. When you lose someone in the family, that happens. In September, when my aunt passed away, I had a really hard time being the creative part and actually designing things. And so I didn't at that point. But then, it comes back. It usually comes back. I know it's very hard when you're going through something like that. So the funny thing is, that's what I can tell you guys. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is my last treatment for 6 weeks. I'm so excited. So those of you know that I'm going through cancer treatments right now. Tomorrow is my last one. I will be on a 6-week break, and then they will check to see if any of the tumors came back. So if you are a person who likes to pray, please pray for me that those tumors do not come back. May 26th is the appointment for that. So I will be a little stressed, I think, around that time. But the interesting thing with these treatments, I've been doing them this will be my 6th treatment, so once a week for 6 weeks. And the interesting thing is that my brain is a little foggy. I think you guys know, you probably can tell by the way I speak. Sometimes I forget what I'm saying. I can't get the words out of my mouth. And I probably look exhausted because I feel exhausted. But the one thing I can do is crochet, and that's what's got me through this. So I've got one more, and it's been each treatment as they pile up on top of each other has gotten harder and harder and harder. Both with how exhausted I am and with just how I feel the first few days after. I was really blessed this last week because I was having family come over, and this past Thursday's treatment wasn't nearly as bad. I mean, I still had the exhaustion, but the other symptoms, I had them the day of the treatment and a little bit the following day, but by the evening of Friday evening, I was feeling more like myself, except for being super, super tired. So I was really blessed with that. So I'm kind of thinking, oh gosh, this week's going to be the one that knocks me for a loop, but we'll see. But yay, I'm so excited. But oh gosh, it seems like it's been forever, and then it seems like it went really fast. Yes, they do. And, and even though they say this one is immunotherapy, it's not like regular chemotherapy that I have the full on outward, losing hair, all that stuff. I still have a lot of side effects. But they're not as physically pronounced, but boy, putting them one on top of the other like that. So if there's no tumors, I do have to go on a maintenance course which is I do this treatment for 3 weeks and then I get 3 months off. So that's the goal right now, is that I get to go on maintenance. And then when I do the maintenance, it's only for a year, and then they stop and then they check me, as long as I don't have any tumors that appear in the middle of all these treatments. But that's kind of how it works. So I'm so excited. You have no idea. I keep hoping that by the time I have 2 weeks of not doing treatment, that maybe the tiredness will stop being here. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea how my body's going to react once we come off them, but I'm hoping I can get a lot more done but I'm a crochet fiend right now. I mean, I showed you 2 projects that I did that were blocked. I showed you the 2 cowls I did this week. I have another project that I can't show you that it's got to go to the photography that I got done during this treatment. Plus I got two other projects that I didn't, I kind of showed you some of it, but they were going to be for a book, and I'll probably share them later on. Because I've decided not to do the book. But oh my gosh, it's like, because all I can do is sit sometimes, because I've just been a crochet fiend. So I've got a lot of projects that are going to be coming out of the woodwork that you guys don't even know, because that's all I can do. So, so that's about it for me. I've got about 5 more minutes. Does anybody else have something you want to talk about or share? We can talk about. Otherwise, I'll just start ending off here. But before I do that, I'll wait a second, see if anybody has anything they want to share. And I have to remind myself to put my wheel on my desk next week so you guys can see it. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of spinning just to show you how fun it can be. And these electric wheels are, I think with the Kickstarter, it was $200 for the whole thing. I mean, and electric wheels are usually well over $1,000. So he makes these really affordable. You get the smaller one for a little over $100. So the nano wheel. So if you're interested in that, I should probably put that in here. Dreaming. That is the website, dreamingrobots.com. I'm going to put that up on the screen just so you guys can see it. I know I would love to have I told my family that that's what I want to do, is have a celebratory dinner if after my my scope, if everything's gone and all I get to go on maintenance. So but I wanted to show you guys that website too. That's if you want to check out the wheel before I even show it to you. That's the website. Okay, guys, I am going to sign off. So for those of you who want to learn a little bit more about me, you can go to my website, and that's right here down below, KarenWhooley.com. Everything there is to know about what I do and what I teach and what I sell and tips and tricks and all the stuff about crochet, go to KarenWhooley.com. You can also go to that website and subscribe to my newsletter. I also have a special link for subscribers as well if you want to just go directly to subscribe to my newsletter. All newsletter subscribers get 25% off new release patterns. You learn about everything first, as far as what book pricing is. If there's a new book coming out, depending on the price of the ebook that I'm just released, I probably won't do a discount, because I've discounted it way for everybody, because that's just the way Amazon works. So you can, but you will get 25% off all my patterns. You'll find out first about when I'm teaching classes, things like that. So definitely subscribe. It's a great deal. Plus get the Pache pattern for free. So make sure you check that out. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's Karen Whooley, no space between my name. And I will be, I'm trying to post every day, at least a scheduled post, but I'll try to be more spontaneous probably in May once I start feeling better after these treatments. If you're watching after the fact on Rumble, or if you're interested in Rumble, you can check out my channel at Rumble. This is the link down here at the bottom, so you can check that out. And if you're interested in finding out more about Rumble or joining Rumble, I do have an affiliate link that you can use to subscribe to. Rumble is what I use when I post my videos to my website. So you definitely check it out. It just seems to be a lot smoother than using YouTube right now with my website. So there is Rumble. And so I'm going to sign off. Everybody who's here, I know there's a lot of you guys saying goodbye. So bye, Aunt Ida, bye, Marianne, bye, Linda, bye, Anna Louise. I know you were here. Who else was here? Pat. I am so glad you guys are here. You're the best part of my week. So thank you for being a part of my day. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Talk to you later. Bye, all.